everybody, welcome back to Family Firearm Reviews. Today we're going to check out the Keltec PMR30. So what's cool is this is a little brother to the CMR30, and if you have a CMR30, the mags are the same. So that's going to be a pretty cool process for you. You'll be able to have lots of extra mags. So let's get to the important stuff and get right down into these numbers. So the numbers on this is we have a 4.3 inch barrel length. We have an overall length of 7.9, which is pretty large, which is going to give us a nice sight radius here. We're going to have lots of room to get on those sights, give us a little bit better accuracy. Now, we do have a width of 1.3 inches. We're running about a 14 ounce weight, and it's going to be around 17 ounces when it's fully loaded with those 30 rounds. Now, we have a trigger pull right here. It's going to be 4.2 pounds. So if we pull here, it's a pretty nice trigger. Release. A little bit of a long reset, and then we're back on that trigger. You can't really hear it, which is strange. There's no tactile click, so you just kind of got to ride that all the way out, which I thought was a little different. So now let's get into the features. We do have a nice set of fiber optic sights. We have red in the rear, green in the front, but they are swappable. They do give you a white and another red. So if you wanted to change that green one out in the front, or even if you wanted to change the ones into rear for something you would like better, you can do that. So we can change that green to a nice white front dot, but I like the tricolor, right? So, or the dual color basically. The two reds in the rear, the green in the front, makes it easier for me. I don't like it when they're all one color. Makes it hard for me to pick up with my stigmatism. It kind of blurs everything together for me. So we'll probably run it like this, maybe put the white in the front today and show you how easy it is to swap that out. Now you pretty much have all ambi controls. The slide stop and slide release is the only one that is going to be on the right hand side. We have our heel mag release right here that you push down. So when you put your mags in, you know, you just got to hit that heel mag release. It's kind of in a different spot, something you may not be used to. Now the safety is right here on either side, as you can see. So that's a nice little feature that this gun is going to be pretty much ambidextrous. It does have a very slim slide, the polymer lower and the steel upper slide, and it's got the internal frame rails to keep that a little bit more compact. And it's going to make it, you know, more of a budget firearm as Keltec is. You can see we do have the normal Keltec texturing. We don't really have any serrations in the front. Just some blocky grips here in the rear for when you're racking the firearm. But we do get a full pick rail, which is pretty nice. So you can run any style of light and laser on there. It doesn't limit you to the ones that are kind of just stuck that fit on the trigger guard to some of the other firearms that don't have the full pick rail on it. So again, it does come with the two 30-round magazines, which is pretty nice. So I was looking online. It is a bit hard to load these, so when you get to a certain point, you've got to tap them on the table. We're going to review that today, and then we're also going to look at maybe later here on another video. I saw they actually have a mag loader for these that says it makes it easier so you're not denting the casings of these firearms. So we are going to run only two different styles of ammo because this is what I could find right here. 22 mag is still kind of hard to find where I live, so I've got some 40 grain Armscott, and then I have some 40 grain Fiocchi ammo. We're going to run these 150 rounds through, give our honest opinions, and see how everything works. I want to also point out it does come with the Keltec trigger lock, and it does come with a nice box right here. You can also lock the box. So if this is going to be one of your first firearms, again, it's nice to get a Keltec or something like that that has a box that you can lock, keep it out of the reach of children, and then you could also put the trigger lock, so it's double lock, double safety for you there. So these are also optics ready. It's a little weird. You can put an optic here, it says, but it's got to be 2 ounces or less. So that's for the reciprocating slide here. It is a fixed barrel firearm, so when it does fire, you've got to have enough mass to push that 22 mag back and push the whole slide back. So the optic that you do choose to put on here has to be 2 ounces or less, but you can throw a red dot on top of this. I didn't even know that until I started reading in the manual, and it's pretty cool. There's 4 little bolts here. On the the P17, I'm sorry, you can't. There's just bolts on the top. That's what actually holds the slide together. But these are actually optics cut. You can throw an optic on top of that. Also, price, you're looking around the $450 range for one of these. Sometimes you find them used, you can get them a little less, but we're running around $450 for that. So let's get to the important stuff, get out to the range. We're out here on the range with our PMR30. And we are going to run the Armscott first. I've got the first mag. We're going to do the accuracy test, shoot it at the target, see how we're doing, see how everything works, see what we think. Ooh. Super light trigger. I was not expecting it. I'm sure you saw that first shot. So I'm a little hot. 2 are high right above, 1 right below. I'm going to throw another 3 shots. I mean, that is a super light trigger. It's definitely something I was not expecting out of this firearm. So we'll get a look at that target. We'll go from there.
It's Lauren. I'm going to do an accuracy test with the PMR30, and we're going to see how I do. I'm not too unhappy with that.
There's the end of that mag. I thought it was over a while ago. So one more. Let's try this Fiocchi. Try that slide release. There she goes. Man, 30 rounds is a lot of fun, and this is an accurate little firearm. So let's reload these mags and get back at it. Oh, don't have the mag in the whole way. There we go. $30 rounds is way too much fun. So with loading the PMR30, a lot of people are complaining about denting their cases. Now, if you look, there's a cut way back here. You need to put your rounds in way back there. And once you get to a certain point, they said that you should tap them on the table because that's going to help straighten the rounds on the inside. So it's important that as we go, we're not, pushing them way up here like you would maybe with your normal 9mm or other guns we're used to. You really want to start kind of further back, push that down in, and then every couple rounds, just like in the manual, give it a couple taps. That helps them stack inside, and we really have had no failure issues. So the one thing I did do is, as you can see, this is unloaded, this is unloaded. I put the mag in the one time, and it didn't fully seat the whole way, and when I racked it forward, it didn't rack. So just making sure those are in the whole way, and with the slide forward, when they're fully loaded, you really got to give it a good smack to get them in there. So if that's the way you're going to start. Now, the other thing we want to talk about is the sight. Right? We can easily swap out that sight. We've got our nice little high vis tool. So you poke this out with your thumb. We can swap that front one to a white one, right? So we'll pull that out Now what you do is, with this all unloaded, because you do kind of got to point the barrel towards you in a way, you take your tool, you're able to push that out. We can slide that right out. We can slide that white one right in, push it in with our thumb, and if we want, we can give it just a slight nudge with that, and we've got it locked in place there. So if we ever wanted to swap it back out, all we'd have to do is push that one forward. You can see how easy that is to swap right out there on the range. We'll grab our green one, put it back in its little storage spot, that way we don't lose it. And now we've got our red and white sights, so let's test those out. So we're here to wrap up our PMR30, and this was definitely the winner on the range today. No malfunctions, no problems. It shot really, really, really well. The sight was easy to change out. I did change that to a front white sight just to show you guys that it can be done out there. Now, that probably wasn't the smartest thing because all of our targets today were white. It was much easier to pick up the green on there, but when you throw it in between there on that white, it still was easy to see. The green was great. The accuracy was very nice. Loading the mags is the thing everybody's going to have the problems with. We've really got to practice and really got to work at loading the mags the way it says in the manual in here, and that is making sure that we're pushing the round back far enough and we're giving them a couple taps while we are loading them. That makes sure everything stacks nice, and that's going to really, really help you. If you look at some of the other reviews on the internet, they'll tell you the same thing. It's really, really, really about loading these mags. Now, the mags are polymer. They're not metal. They are fairly cheap. They do have a mag loader tool right on the right on the Keltec website. So if you go to Keltec, you can get a mag loader for these PMR30s and the CMR30s because they take the same magazines, right? The CMR30 is just the big brother to the PMR30, right? It's the rifle version. So the safety, very easy to manipulate right there. And even with this on the bottom, it got comfortable as the day went. It's a little different. I'm used to reaching. Even some of the Keltecs have them right here on the trigger. I tried to reach for that 1 or 2 times, but once you figure out it's on the bottom, it's really not bad. It doesn't really let your mags fall freely, so you're stripping all of those mags out at the present moment. So it's not going to be a real speed shooter there, but I think if you work on stripping those mags, you could really, do something great with that. Maybe if you have a firearm that's like that, you've got to strip mags like a Browning high power. This would be a good weapon to really practice that stripping with a lower ammunition price, right? We got all 150 rounds through, 0 malfunctions, good accuracy. I think it's cool that you can add an optic here, and I do want to totally do that, but I'm going to try to find a very micro under 2 ounce because this blowback design with the fixed barrel on this is saying that you need something less than 2 ounces or else it won't cycle the slide. Now the slide stop, it is a little rough hitting it here. It's a little stiff. So if you're a person that wants to use that, you can see right here, you got to supply a significant amount of force. But if you're just going to pull the slide back and let it run forward, it ran fine that way for me today. But I did notice that slide stop right here was a little rough, a little hard to get. Now this is not threaded, so you can't put a suppressor on it right now. They may sell threaded barrels for it, I'm not sure, an adapter. It's not like the P17 that has the adapter that comes with it. I do think that for the money, this is a great firearm. 30 rounds, 22 mag. I mean, there were a couple times out there I thought I should have been out just usual guns out there. You have 15, 17, 20 rounds, but you can really shoot around for a long time. I mean, just getting these two through, you're already through a box of ammo. You're at 60, so it's really fun. I had a great time. I think it's a good training tool. I think even if you were going to carry this, on your hip while you were, walking through the woods, keeping snakes and things out of the way, you could barely tell it was there for the weight, right? Like, again, low nose mags is going to be the only downside to this firearm, but once you get it figured out, I think it'll be a very nice gun for anyone who has it. You can see it does have a nice undercut here. The ergonomics are well. It does have a pretty big grip, right? So you can see there, I can wrap my hand around as I rotate the firearm around. You can see right there. It does give you plenty of room for that support hand. It's a thin slide for you to grip, and you can see right there, no front serrations, but you can grip this very easily. There's lots of little details on there. Lots of little high points right here, as you can see, if you're going to rack from the rear. And the trigger, that 3-pound trigger today, it caught me off guard the first shot, right? It is really, really, really soft, really quick, and it resets very easily, but it's not a tactile click when it resets. It's very quiet, so when it does reset, you don't really notice it. So again, it seems to be working well. I'm really excited about this, and I can't wait to get at least a 500-round review on this. So if you have one or you like these, let us know. Hi, Fred. He's letting you know he's in the background there. And check out some of the links below. All right. Thank you. See you guys again.
Thanks for watching our video. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel.
Comment below. We want to hear from you. Get more content from family firearm reviews by joining our Patreon and checking out the links in the description.